The Valari Dominion ruled thousands of stars. Their fleets were strong, their ships enormous, and their minds filled with pride. They believed they had seen everything the galaxy had to offer. But there were whispers, stories kept in old archives, about a species long gone. They called them humans. Most Valari thought humans were a myth, a story told to scare children. Some said they had fought wars so fierce that even stars had burned. Others said they had vanished from the galaxy 10,000 years ago, leaving no trace behind. Captain Rian Vexar stood on the bridge of the warship Saravan. The bridge was wide and filled with glowing consoles. Screens displayed the positions of hundreds of ships in their fleet. Stars shone outside the windows like scattered diamonds. Ryan's eyes were sharp, his mind alert. The fleet was on a mission to explore the Orion Expanse, a region of space that had been quiet for centuries. "Captain," said Talia Monroe, a young officer and historian from Trassa. Her voice was calm but excited. "I think I found something. It is old, very old. It may be human." Ryan turned from the main screen to look at her. Talia had been studying old records and data from abandoned systems. Most of the time it was useless, but she had a way of finding small clues that others missed. "Show me," Ryan said. Talia brought up a projection. On the screen floated a broken moon, cracked and scarred. Around it were pieces of a space station, shattered by unknown forces. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the wreckage. They were written in a language almost forgotten. "These markings," Talia said, pointing at the screen, "are Terran. I have studied archives for years. No other species uses this writing. This belongs to humans." Ryan frowned. He had heard of humans. Every Valari had, but all stories painted them as legends. Survivors said humans had fought wars that could destroy planets. But no humans had been seen for 10,000 years. Most people believed the species had gone extinct. "Are you sure?" he asked. "I am sure," Talia replied. "These records cannot lie. Humans existed. They were not weak. They were strong, dangerous, and clever. And something tells me they may still exist." The fleet moved closer to the coordinates Talia had found. Sensors scanned the area. Energy readings were faint but unusual. No Valari ship had seen anything like it before. The sensors detected a small signal coming from the ruins. It was weak, but it was there. "Captain, we are picking up a distress beacon," Talia said. "It is automated, but it is old. Very old." "Old or not," Ryan said, "we respond to distress signals. Send a message." The signal bounced across space and back. There was no reply. Only the faint hum of the ruins answered them. The Valari fleet circled the broken station carefully. The silence of the void felt heavy. No sound came from the cold stars. No ships passed. Only the humans' ruins remained, frozen in time. Ryan led an away team to the station. He, Talia, and a few soldiers wore light suits to protect them from the damaged environment. The station was massive, far larger than anything built by the Valari. Its metal walls were scorched, and corridors were empty. Dust floated in the air like tiny stars. "This place is huge," said Ryan, stepping carefully over a broken walkway.
"How could humans build something this big 10,000 years ago?" Talia walked beside him, her eyes wide as she examined symbols on the walls. Humans were always ahead of their time. They made machines, weapons, and ships that others could only dream of.
They may have been small in number, but they were powerful. The team reached a central chamber. In the middle stood a large console. Lights flickered weakly. Ryan tapped it, and surprisingly, the system powered up. A holographic display appeared. Strange writing in English glowed, faint but readable. Talia gasped. "This is incredible. It is a human data core. It contains history, plans, and warnings." Ryan looked at the screen. Symbols, diagrams, and logs appeared. There were images of humans in uniforms, standing on the decks of massive ships. Weapons lined the walls. Stars moved across the holographic sky in perfect formations. "This is a military ship," Ryan said. "It belonged to humans. They were ready for war." "Yes," Talia said. They fought wars that no one else could. They were clever. They were fearless. And they left this as a message. Something was coming and they wanted to be remembered. Suddenly, a weak voice echoed through the chamber. It was faint, mechanical, and in English. Signal received. Earth fleet. Returning. Ryan froze. Did you hear that? Talia's eyes widened. It is a human voice. It is alive in some way. The soldiers looked at each other in disbelief. Something that was supposed to be dead, lost to history, had just spoken. The voice continued, repeating the same words over and over. The humans, they are coming back, Talia whispered. Ryan's mind raced. If humans had survived, if they were returning after 10,000 years, the galaxy could change forever. The Valari had never faced a species like this. They had grown used to controlling everything. But humans were unpredictable. Back on the Saravan, the fleet discussed what to do. Some officers wanted to leave the area immediately. They feared whatever signal had awakened. Others were curious, drawn by the mystery. Ryan made his decision. We cannot ignore this. We need to understand what humans are planning. Talia, keep decoding the data cores. We must know everything about them. Talia nodded. Her hands moved over the holographic interface. Slowly, information poured out. There were maps of star systems humans had visited, blueprints of massive ships, records of battles fought across galaxies. The humans had not vanished. They had hidden. They had prepared. Hours passed. Ryan and Talia studied the logs. They saw stories of courage, sacrifice, and endless struggle. Humans had fought enemies stronger than the Valari. They had survived in places where no other species could. It is amazing, Talia said quietly. They were not just survivors. They were legends, and they may still be alive. Ryan nodded. If this is true, the Valari are not ready for what is coming. The fleet remained near the ruins, scanning the space around the broken station. For days they waited, watching faint energy signals ripple across the void. The station's automated systems continued to hum. It was as if the humans themselves were sleeping, waiting for the right time to return. One night, Ryan walked alone on the bridge. Stars stretched across the darkness, countless and silent. He thought about the humans he had only read about in legends. He thought about their courage, their cleverness, and their strength. They are real, he whispered, and they are coming. Talia entered the bridge quietly. She looked at the stars and then at Ryan. Captain, the data cores are revealing something new. Human ships, entire fleets, larger than anything the Valari have ever built. Thousands, maybe tens of thousands. Ryan's eyes widened. Thousands? That cannot be possible. No species has that many ships ready after 10,000 years. They were ready, Talia said softly. They planned for this moment for a very long time. They never forgot the galaxy. And now, they are returning. The bridge went silent. Every officer felt the weight of history pressing down. The humans, once thought to be myths, were alive and preparing to reclaim their place among the stars. The Valari had ruled unchallenged for centuries, but that era was ending. Something far older, stronger, and more determined than any Valari fleet was coming. And no one, not even Captain Ryan, could guess what would happen next. For the first time in 10,000 years, the stars were waiting for humans, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The Valari fleet remained near the ruins of the human station. Captain Ryan Vexar and Talia Munro spent every hour examining the data cores. Each log they unlocked added more to their growing understanding. Humans were not just warriors. They were explorers, scientists, builders, and strategists. They had mapped star systems far beyond what the Valari knew. Their ships were more advanced than anything the Dominion had ever seen. Talia pointed at a holographic projection that appeared from the main console. The image showed a massive warship, bigger than the largest Valari dreadnought. Its hull was black with silver stripes, sleek but powerful. Weapons lined its sides and energy shields shimmered in the projection. They called this the Earthguard Sentinel, Talia said, her voice low. It was one of their main ships. And this is only one of many. There are hundreds of similar designs and even larger ones hidden in other systems. Ryan studied the image, trying to remain calm. How could a species disappear for 10,000 years and leave fleets like this? Where were they hiding? They left the Milky Way, Talia said. They traveled far beyond the reach of other civilizations. They fought wars we can barely imagine, and they survived. That is why they are legends. That is why we thought they were myths. Rian shook his head. Legends? No longer. The fleet continued to scan nearby star systems. They found faint signals hidden among the stars. Long-dead human outposts activated when they were detected. Small drones appeared examining the Valari ships. They were not hostile, but they were observing. Captain, the humans left automated defense systems, Talia said. They are still active after 10,000 years. They respond to our presence, Ryan frowned. So they planned this. Even after all this time, they wanted to protect their old systems. And they wanted someone to find them? Yes, Talia said. They never wanted to be forgotten. Their technology is designed to survive and awaken when the galaxy becomes unsafe. Ryan turned to his officers. Keep scanning. I want every signal analyzed. If the humans are out there, we need to know what they can do. Days passed and the fleet uncovered more. Hidden colonies, abandoned ships, and cryptic messages appeared in the logs. The humans had been everywhere, leaving a trail across distant galaxies. Their ships could travel faster than anything the Valari had. They used energy in ways no one understood. Captain, said Lieutenant Raro, one of Ryan's most trusted officers, I have found something strange. The energy signatures, they are converging. It looks like someone or something is moving through these systems. Could it be humans? Ryan nodded slowly. It must be. Talia, can you read the signals?
Can we find out where they are?
Talia concentrated on the data cores. She worked for hours, connecting the signals following faint energy traces. Finally she spoke. I think I found them. They are far from here, beyond the outer rim, but the fleet, it is enormous. Thousands of ships. They are on the move, Ryan felt a chill. Thousands? Yes, Talia said. Much more than we expected. These are not scouts. This is a fleet. They are returning. The Valari fleet prepared for what could come. Orders were sent to distant colonies. Ships were recalled from patrols. Every weapon, every defense system was put on alert. But even with all their power, the Valari could not fully understand what awaited them. Humans were a mystery that had survived 10,000 years. Late one night, while Ryan studied the logs alone, Talia approached him. Her eyes were tired, but her excitement was clear. Captain, she said, you have to see this. The logs mention something called the Terran Defense Armada. It is not just one fleet. It is an entire armada ready to fight if needed. They kept it hidden, far from anyone, for all this time. Ryan's jaw tightened. An armada? That means tens of thousands of ships? Maybe, Talia said. And each ship is more advanced than anything the Valari have built. They could destroy planets if they wanted. But the logs suggest they prefer to survive, not destroy. They are careful, strategic, and intelligent. Ryan ran his hand over his face. We've been ruling the stars for centuries, believing no one could challenge us. But these humans, they are not just a challenge. They are a force beyond imagination. Talia pointed at a small projection on the console. It showed a distant star system, marked with symbols that Ryan did not recognize. This is where the humans are gathering. It is far from any known star routes, but their energy signatures are growing stronger. Something is happening there. They are preparing. Rian stared at the projection. He could feel the weight of history pressing down. We need to warn the Council. The Valari Dominion must understand what is coming. This is no ordinary species returning. This is humanity, and we underestimated them. As the days passed, strange events continued to occur. Sensors picked up signals that seemed impossible. Massive ships appeared and disappeared from space as if moving faster than light. Small drones scanned the Valari fleet but vanished before they could be targeted. Talia studied the logs. They left traps and warnings. Systems we thought were dead are activating again. Ships that we believed were destroyed are coming back online. The humans are awakening the galaxy itself. Ryan frowned. Awakening? How can a species do that after 10,000 years? They prepared for this, Talia said simply. They planned for everything. They never forgot the Valari, or the others who claimed the galaxy. And now, they are returning. The first direct encounter came unexpectedly. A small human scout ship emerged from a warp tunnel. It was sleek, black, and unlike anything the Valari had ever seen. It moved with incredible speed, circling the Valari fleet and scanning. Rian ordered the fleet to hold fire. They needed information, not a fight. The scout ship stopped near the Saravan and opened a communication channel. A calm voice spoke, clear and steady. "This is the Terran Defense Armada. We are returning. Identify yourselves." Ryan stared at the screen. The voice was human, unmistakable, strong, calm, and filled with authority. Talia whispered, "They are real. This is not a legend. The humans are back." Ryan spoke slowly, choosing his words. "We are the Valari Dominion. We control this region. Who are you to return after 10,000 years?" The human replied without anger. "We are humanity. We left to survive. We are not here to fight without cause, but we will defend what is ours." Ryan felt a chill. The humans were calm, but their words carried power. They were not afraid of the Valari fleet, and the fleet before him was only a small part of what they commanded. Talia turned to Ryan. "Captain, we need to prepare. This is only the beginning. They will not be stopped easily. And if they choose to fight, the galaxy will never be the same." Ryan nodded. He realized the truth. Everything the Valari had known was about to change. Legends had become reality. Humans were not just survivors. They were warriors, explorers, and strategists. They had returned, and the stars themselves would tremble under their presence. The Saravan fleet remained in orbit, scanning, learning, and waiting. Every officer understood that history was turning. The humans thought to be gone forever had awakened, and the galaxy would soon see the true power of the species that had been underestimated for millennia. Rian stood on the bridge, looking at the stars. He whispered to himself, "We were not ready. No one could be ready. They were gone once, but now they are coming back, and we will see why humans are legends." In the distance, faint signals pulsed across space. The humans were moving, slowly, steadily, gathering their forces. Every light, every ship, every signal was a sign of their return. The Valari had discovered the truth. Humans were alive. Humans were coming, and the galaxy would tremble before them. The Valari Dominion had seen many fleets, many ships, and many battles across the stars. Their pride was strong, and they believed no species could match them. But nothing could have prepared them for what appeared in the outer system near the Orion expanse. Captain Ryan Vexar stood on the bridge of the Saravan. His hands gripped the railing tightly. Talia Monroe was beside him, her eyes wide as she scanned the approaching fleet. The sensors could barely register all the ships moving toward them. Ryan's voice was low. This cannot be real." Talia shook her head. "It is real. Every reading confirms it. Thousands of tens of thousands." Outside, the stars seemed to darken as the fleet appeared. The ships were massive, black with silver markings, each one larger than the largest Valari dreadnought. Energy shields glimmered like ice on the hulls, and weapons lined every side. The human armada stretched across the system, filling space with its silent power. Lieutenant Raro broke the silence. "Captain, the fleet is enormous. I count at least 10,000 dreadnoughts moving in formation. Each one is active, armed, and ready." Ryan could feel his heart pound. He had faced battles before, wars that had destroyed worlds, but this was unlike anything he had ever seen. "Open a communication channel," Ryan ordered. "Let them speak." The main screen flickered, and a calm, steady voice filled the bridge. "Valari Dominion, we are humanity. We have returned. Identify yourselves." The words were simple, but they carried authority. There was no fear, no hesitation. The humans were not demanding respect. They were expecting it. Ryan hesitated, then replied, "I am Captain Ryan Vexar of the Valari Dominion. We rule this region. Who are you to return after 10,000 years?" There was a pause. Then the voice spoke again. "We are the Terran Defense Armada. We left to survive, but we never forgot. We did not return lightly. We will not destroy without reason, but we will defend what belongs to us." The bridge of the Saravan went silent. Every officer understood the weight of those words. Humanity had returned, and they had brought an entire armada. Talia's voice trembled slightly. "Captain, they are not exaggerating. This fleet is beyond anything the Valari have built, and it is only a part of their forces. They have prepared for this for thousands of years." Ryan's mind raced. The Valari had always believed themselves the strongest. They had defeated enemies, conquered worlds, and expanded across galaxies. But the humans, they were something else entirely. Outside, the human ships began to move in formation. They did not attack. They did not fire weapons. Yet the Valari fleet felt the weight of their presence. Every sensor, every system, every mind on the bridge could sense power beyond imagination. Admiral Evelyn Brooks, commanding the lead human dreadnought, appeared on the main screen. She was calm, her eyes steady. We do not seek unnecessary war, but we will not allow any species to claim what was never theirs. The galaxy will remember humanity, for we are the first to rise and the last to be forgotten. Ryan swallowed hard. We must alert the council. They need to see this. Yes, Captain, Talia said, but we must act carefully. They are observing us. Every move we make is being watched. The Valari fleet attempted to form defensive positions, but even the largest dreadnoughts seemed small compared to the human ships. Some Valari officers whispered in fear, while others tried to maintain calm. Rian turned to Talia. Do you think they will attack? Talia shook her head. Not yet. Humans are careful. They prefer strategy over brute force. They are giving us a chance to understand them. But make no mistake, if provoked, they will fight. And if they fight, the Valari fleet will not survive. The human ships moved with precision. They scanned the systems, activated old colonies, and awakened dormant outposts. It was as if the galaxy itself was responding to their presence. Captain, Lieutenant Raro said, pointing to a display. They are activating hidden systems, long-dead weapons, automated defenses. They are turning them on. Ryan clenched his fists. They have prepared everything. Every corner of the galaxy, every lost system. They have planned for this. Talia looked at the projections, her eyes wide. This is why humans were legends. They think ahead. They survive. They conquer not with fear but with skill and intelligence. They are not just a fleet. They are history itself. Ryan stepped closer to the window, staring at the endless rows of ships. Each one moved like a living organism, perfectly synchronized. 10,000 dreadnoughts and possibly more filled the system. Their power was beyond comprehension. The Valari Council convened a special meeting. Ryan and Talia transmitted live images of the fleet. The council members gasped as they saw the scale of the human return. This cannot be real, said High Chancellor Voren. 10,000 ships, and they are fully armed? How is this possible? Talia spoke calmly. Humans planned this for thousands of years. They left the Milky Way to survive. They fought wars we cannot imagine, and they have returned stronger than ever. The council murmured in fear. The Valari had always prided themselves on control, but control was slipping. The humans, thought to be gone forever, were rewriting the rules. Ryan turned back to the fleet. We must be cautious. They are not attacking yet, but we cannot underestimate them. Every move, every decision could decide the fate of the Dominion. The humans continued their slow, deliberate approach. They activated old Terran colonies, repaired ships, and restored systems lost to time. Their presence was like a tide spreading across the stars, impossible to resist. Admiral Brooks appeared again on the screen. Valari Dominion, we offer peace. We do not seek war, but we will defend what is ours. Recognize the past, respect it, or face the consequences. Ryan nodded slowly. Understood. We will deliver your message to the council. But know this, the Valari will not surrender easily. Brooks's voice was calm but firm. We do not ask for surrender. We ask for understanding. Humanity remembers. We do not forget. We have returned. For hours the fleets observed each other. No shots were fired. No weapons were unleashed. Yet the Valari felt the weight of history pressing down on them. The humans were not just a fleet, they were a warning, a promise, and a force beyond imagination. Talia turned to Rian. Captain, this is only the beginning. They are showing us restraint, but they have power we cannot match. If we provoke them, the consequences will be unimaginable. Ryan looked at the endless rows of dreadnoughts. He felt a mixture of awe and fear. We have underestimated humans for too long. Legends, they were right, and now we see the truth. The first day ended with the human fleet holding position. The Valari fleet remained on alert, scanning and analyzing. The silence was heavy. No one dared move too quickly. The humans were patient, strategic, and powerful. As night fell over distant worlds, Ryan stood alone on the bridge. He stared at the stars, now filled with the presence of humanity. 10,000 ships, each one a symbol of survival, intelligence, and power. They are real, he whispered to himself. And they are stronger than we imagined. We are not ready for this. No one is ready. Talia approached quietly. Captain, the humans are moving deeper into the system. They are activating old Terran systems, repairing ships and gathering information. They are preparing for something bigger. Ryan nodded. Then we watch, we learn. And we hope we are not too late. The stars continued to shine, but now they carried a new presence. The humans had returned. 10,000 dreadnoughts filled the skies, their weapons quiet but ready, their minds sharp, their history alive. The Valari Dominion faced the impossible. They had believed humans were gone, legends of a forgotten past. But now the truth was clear. Humans were real. Humans were powerful, and the galaxy would never be the same again. And somewhere across the void, Admiral Evelyn Brooks stood on the bridge of her flagship, calm and steady. Her eyes scanned the stars. She knew the Valari were watching. She knew the galaxy was about to change. She smiled slightly. Humanity had returned, and the first chapter of this new age was just beginning. The Valari Dominion had never seen anything like this. 10,000 human dreadnoughts filled the skies. Their presence more than a threat, it was a statement. Captain Rian Vexar stood on the bridge of the Saravan, watching the endless fleet as it slowly moved across the system. Talia Monroe worked beside him, eyes fixed on the displays, absorbing every signal, every movement. They are activating old colonies, Talia said quietly. Systems that have been dead for centuries are coming back online. Ships are leaving docks, weapons are powered up, energy shields are forming around planets. Ryan's face was grim. They are not attacking us yet, but they are preparing for something. We cannot ignore this. The Valari Council called for an emergency meeting. High Chancellor Vorin and the leaders of distant sectors joined through secure channels. On the main screen, the humans' fleet was visible in real time, stretching across hundreds of kilometers of space. This is unacceptable, Vorin said, his voice tight. They cannot be allowed to claim what they have no right to. We control this region. We have ruled for centuries, Talia shook her head. They were here first, Chancellor. They left because they needed to survive. They did not forget, and now they are returning. Rian took a deep breath. Chancellor, I advise caution. These humans are not just a fleet. They are organized, advanced, and prepared. Every move we make is being watched. If we provoke them, the consequences will be devastating. The Council argued for hours. Some members wanted to attack immediately. Others, like Rian, urged patience. In the end, Vorin reluctantly agreed to hold position and observe. Meanwhile, the humans continued their work. Admiral Evelyn Brooks, commanding the lead dreadnought, moved across the system, sending teams to restore old Terran colonies. One by one, planets that had been abandoned for thousands of years came back to life. Cities were repaired, energy grids activated, and defense systems brought online. From the bridge of the Saravan, Rian watched in disbelief. They are rebuilding entire worlds. Every planet they touch becomes alive again. They are not just a fleet, they are reclaiming history. Talia nodded. And they are careful. Nothing is wasted, nothing is destroyed. They restore what was lost, repair what was broken, and leave systems stronger than before. This is why humans were legends. They do not just fight. They survive. They build. They think ahead. The first direct contact came when a Terran repair vessel approached a Valari-controlled station. It was small compared to the dreadnoughts, but moved with incredible speed and precision. It docked at the station without permission, and human engineers began restoring power grids and systems. Ryan immediately sent a message. Identify yourself. You have no permission to enter Valari space. The human ship responded calmly. We are humanity. This station was once ours. It has been abandoned for thousands of years. We are restoring it. We do not intend conflict unless attacked. Talia turned to Rian, her voice low. They are giving us a chance. They are showing restraint. But make no mistake, Captain. If we stop them, they will defend themselves. Ryan nodded slowly. We need to maintain communication. We cannot underestimate them. And we cannot interfere unless necessary. Every action matters now. Across the system, other human teams were doing the same. Drones repaired orbital platforms. Small vessels restored energy nodes. Massive ships reconstructed lost colonies, making them stronger and more advanced than before. The humans moved with precision, strategy, and patience. High Chancellor Vorin grew impatient. Captain, how long do we wait? These humans are reclaiming systems that belong to us. We cannot just stand here. Ryan's voice was steady. Chancellor, we stand because it is the only way to survive this. If we act rashly, we risk everything. These humans are not ordinary. They are history itself. They think ahead, they plan. They are patient because they know what they are doing. Vorin's hands tightened on the console. We will not surrender without a fight, Talia interjected. No one is asking you to surrender, Chancellor. But fighting now, you will lose. They are 10,000 dreadnoughts strong, and each ship is more advanced than anything in the Valari Dominion. They will not fail, and if you fight them, the galaxy itself will witness the end of our fleet. The Valari fleet continued to observe. Some officers could barely keep calm as human ships moved with ease, restoring lost colonies and activating systems that had been dead for centuries. The sheer scale of their power was overwhelming. On the Saravan, a report arrived from a sensor team. Captain, the humans are scanning all nearby systems. They are cataloging resources, assessing planets, and analyzing our fleet. They are gathering intelligence but not attacking. They are learning, Ryan said, and they will remember everything. Every weakness, every strength, every move we make. This is why humans survive. They prepare, they learn, they adapt. Talia added, We are not the first to fear them, Captain. Ancient records show humans fought wars that no one else could win. They were outnumbered, outgunned, but they always found a way. And now, they are back. Suddenly, a signal appeared on the main screen. A small human ship was moving rapidly toward the Saravan. It was sleek and black, faster than any Valari interceptor. The voice of Admiral Brooks filled the bridge. Captain Ryan Vexar, she said. We wish to speak directly. There is no threat here. We only ask for dialogue. Humanity has returned. Let us understand one another before conflict begins. Ryan's hands tightened around the console. Very well. Open a channel. The image of Admiral Brooks appeared on the screen. She stood calmly on the bridge of her dreadnought. Her eyes were steady and her expression carried authority. Captain Vexar, she began. We have returned after thousands of years. We have seen the galaxy fall into disorder, with species claiming systems that were not theirs. We are here to restore balance, not to destroy. You may choose to resist, but know this. Humans do not fight recklessly. We fight with precision, intelligence, and resolve, Rian nodded. I understand, Admiral. We will observe your actions. But know that the Valari Dominion does not yield easily. Brooks smiled faintly. We do not ask for surrender. We ask for understanding. The galaxy remembers humanity, and now humanity remembers the galaxy. We hope for peace, but we are ready if it is refused. The communication ended, leaving the Valari officers silent. The message was calm, yet it carried an undeniable power. The humans were not threatening, but they were in control. Every word reminded the Valari of their place in the galaxy. Talia whispered to Rian, They are showing restraint. They could destroy us in moments, but they choose not to. That is why humans survive. They understand the value of patience, strategy, and timing. Rian looked at the stars outside. The human fleet was still moving, still restoring colonies, still activating systems. And every action reminded him of one truth. The Valari were no longer the rulers of this region. The humans had returned, and they had come prepared. Over the next days, the Valari fleet watched as human ships repaired long-dead worlds. Cities lit up, energy grids hummed, and old space stations returned to life. The humans moved carefully, never wasting resources, never attacking unless necessary. Rian walked across the bridge deep in thought. They are not like any enemy we have faced. They are more than ships, more than weapons. They are history itself. They think ahead, they plan, and they remember everything, Talia nodded. And that is why the legends were true. Humans were always more than ordinary. They survive because they prepare. They fight because they must. And they never forget. High Chancellor Vorin, still angry, paced in his private chamber. This is unacceptable. They cannot just take what they want. We control this region. Ryan's voice was calm as he spoke to the council. Chancellor, control is an illusion. Humans are returning. We can resist, but they are prepared. The best we can do is observe, understand, and hope to survive. Any aggression now will be catastrophic. Vorin did not reply. He knew the truth, even if he refused to admit it. The humans had returned, and the galaxy was changing. On the bridge of the Saravan, Rian looked at the human fleet one last time as night fell over distant worlds. 10,000 dreadnoughts, each one alive with power and purpose, stretched across the stars. The humans did not attack. They did not need to. Their presence was enough, Talia whispered. Captain, they are more than a fleet. They are a force that cannot be ignored. The galaxy will never be the same again. Ryan nodded. And the first act has only begun. We watch, we learn, and we survive. That is all we can do for now. Outside, the human dreadnoughts continued their slow, deliberate work. Systems were restored, colonies rebuilt, and old stars once forgotten were alive again. The humans moved with precision, patience, and power. The Valari watched, aware that history itself had returned. And somewhere across the void, Admiral Evelyn Brooks stood on her bridge, calm and steady. She knew the Valari were watching. She knew the galaxy was observing. And she knew humanity had returned to reclaim its place. The new dawn was coming. The humans were patient, prepared, and unstoppable. The stars had changed. 10,000 human dreadnoughts now filled the skies, their presence undeniable. Captain Rian Vexar of the Valari Dominion stood on the bridge of the Saravan, watching the human fleet move across the system. Talia Monroe was beside him, studying the sensors. Every system, every planet, every ship had been touched by humans. The galaxy was no longer the same. They are everywhere, Talia said quietly. Every system we control, every outpost we thought was ours. They are reclaiming it, and they are doing it without attacking, without destroying. They are not here to fight unless they must. Ryan's face was grim. We can no longer believe we are in control. We never were, and now the humans are reminding us of that truth. High Chancellor Vorin and the Valari Council had convened once again. Panic and fear were clear in their voices as the images of human dreadnoughts appeared on the screens. Systems long abandoned were being restored. Energy grids hummed to life. Space stations that had been dead for centuries were suddenly operational. This cannot stand, Vorin said, his voice rising. We have ruled these regions for centuries. How can a species gone for 10,000 years return and claim what is not theirs? Talia shook her head. It is theirs. They were here first. They left because they needed to survive. And now they are back. They are not taking revenge. They are reclaiming what belongs to them. Ryan spoke to the council with calm authority. Chancellor, we must understand one thing. These humans are not like any enemy we have faced. They do not fight recklessly. They survive, they plan, and every move we make they see and remember. Any aggression now will cost us dearly. We must act with caution. Vorin said nothing. He knew Ryan was right. Yet pride and fear struggled within him. The Valari had always believed themselves the strongest, and now they were faced with a species that had returned stronger than anything they had imagined. The human fleet moved steadily. Admiral Evelyn Brooks, commanding the lead dreadnought, communicated through secure channels. Her voice was calm yet carried authority that could not be ignored. Valari Dominion, she said. We are humanity. We do not seek war, but we will defend what is ours. Systems, colonies, and technology that were once ours are being restored. We offer peace. We ask for understanding. If that is refused, we are prepared for the consequences. Ryan listened to her words carefully. She is not threatening, he said quietly. But she is in control, and every word reminds us that we are on borrowed time. Talia nodded. They are patient, Captain. They rebuild before they fight. They restore before they conquer. That is why humans survive. That is why legends speak of them. The first human teams arrived at Valari colonies. Small ships carried engineers, drones, and supplies. They repaired cities, restored power, and activated systems. Citizens and administrators of the Valari were amazed to see advanced technology operate seamlessly. Raro, one of Rian's officers, spoke in awe. Captain, their technology is beyond anything we have seen. Entire cities are powered and repaired in hours. Systems that we thought were lost forever are alive again. This is not just a fleet, it is civilization itself, Rian nodded, and it is only the beginning. They have come back to claim what they lost, and they will not stop. As the human forces spread, the Valari realized they could not compete. Their fleets were strong, their weapons advanced, but against 10,000 dreadnoughts and countless smaller ships, they were outmatched. Every attack would be met with precise retaliation. Every defense they built would be surpassed. High Chancellor Vorin sent a final delegation to Rian. We must respond. We cannot let humans continue this without resistance. Ryan shook his head. Chancellor, resistance now will bring ruin. They are beyond us. Their fleets, their technology, their knowledge. We cannot match it. We can only survive if we negotiate, if we accept the reality before us. Voron's hands trembled. And if we refuse? They will not destroy without reason, Ryan said. But if we attack, we will be defeated. The choice is yours. The council fell silent. They could see the human fleet in real time. Every dreadnought, every repair vessel, every activated system reminded them of their vulnerability. The truth was undeniable. Humans had returned and they were unstoppable. Admiral Brooks addressed the Valari one final time. We do not seek to destroy. We do not seek revenge. We return to restore balance. Systems that were once ours will be reclaimed. History will be remembered. The galaxy will see that humanity survives. Any resistance will be met with defense, not wrath. But defense will be absolute. The council understood. They had no choice but to yield. Slowly, carefully, they accepted the humans' presence. Valari fleets withdrew from contested areas. Outposts were handed over peacefully. The Valari realized they had underestimated the humans for 10,000 years. Talia turned to Ryan. Captain, it is done. They are reclaiming the galaxy and the Valari are powerless to stop them. But notice, they have not attacked us. They are patient. They are merciful. Ryan nodded. That is why humans survive. They are legends for a reason. They do not destroy unless they must. They plan, they endure, and they always remember. Days passed. Human dreadnoughts continued to restore systems. Colonies thrived again. Resources were managed efficiently. Ships long thought lost were repaired and returned to active duty. Every action reminded the galaxy why humans were feared, respected, and legendary. Finally, Admiral Brooks addressed the Valari Council directly. Valari Dominion, the galaxy has changed. Humans are here. Systems are being restored. History is being remembered. We do not seek enemies among those who accept peace. Recognize the past. Respect it. And you will survive. Refuse, and you will see the consequences. High Chancellor Voron bowed his head. We understand, Admiral. The Valari will accept this new order. We cannot compete and we will not fight. We will learn from you. If you allow it, Brooks nodded. Peace is the first step. Humans are patient, but we are vigilant. Remember the galaxy, and remember that we are here. We will endure. We will reclaim what was ours, and we will thrive. Ryan and Talia watched as the human fleets moved beyond the system. 10,000 dreadnoughts filled space, shining like black and silver stars. Every ship, every crew, every system reminded the Valari of what they had underestimated. Humans were not myths. Humans were the rulers of their destiny, and now the galaxy itself would witness their return. Talia whispered to Ryan, "They are unstoppable, and yet they offer peace. That is why they are legends. They survive because they choose their battles carefully. They do not fight out of pride. They fight out of necessity, and they always win when necessary." Ryan looked out at the fleet. We have witnessed history. The legends were true. Humans were never gone, and now they are here to stay. The Valari fleet withdrew slowly, leaving space for humans to reclaim the galaxy. Outposts once abandoned were returned peacefully. Systems that had been dead for centuries were alive again. And everywhere the human fleet went, life, energy, and civilization followed. Finally, as the stars shone above, Admiral Brooks sent one last message. We are humanity. We were the first to rise, and we were thought to be the last to fall. But now, the galaxy will never forget us again. The Valari listened in awe. The galaxy had changed. Legends had become reality. Humans had returned, and their power, intelligence, and patience had reshaped everything. Ryan turned to Talia. They are more than a fleet. They are history. They are survival. They are the future. Talia nodded. And they will be remembered for all time. Humans are back, and the stars themselves will never be the same again. The human dreadnoughts continued their work, moving from system to system, restoring, rebuilding, and reclaiming. Their weapons were quiet but ready, their intelligence and strategy unmatched. The Valari had learned a hard lesson: do not underestimate humans. And somewhere across the void, Admiral Brooks stood on her bridge, calm, steady, and proud. Humanity had returned. They had survived. They had restored what was lost. And the galaxy would remember their name forever. The new dawn had arrived. The humans were back. The legends were true, and nothing in the stars would ever be the same again.